What's
Yeah.
the story there?
So, by the way, when I tell everybody this story, they're like appalled. Like it's like hard for them to like believe it. Just kind of based off of like how I fucking look, I guess. I don't know. But yeah, so we were on that run with Mouth War and 10 to the Chest, and I guess there's like two ports that you can go in from.
Yeah.
Port Huron, and then I don't remember what the other one is called, but Mouth War had gone to that one, and unfortunately couldn't get into the fest. And so Gabe called me, and he was like, "Hey, I know you don't have your passport. Like, I doubt it's gonna happen." Essentially, and I was like, "Well, I mean, we're already fucking pulling up. Like, I'm just gonna try it. You know, when the worst that happens is they search our van and then fucking tell us to go back."
Yeah.
So Skylar and Cam are in the back. There's another Skylar and Cell, by the way.
Okay.
Skylar and Cam are in the back, and then me and Ty are up front. And I asked Sky, I'm like, which one do I go to? And he's like, go here. I was like, okay. So we pull up, and we're behind this car, and then they let them through, and then it's our turn, and I'm like shaking because I've always heard bad things about the fucking Canadian border. And so I pull up.
Hey, it's both of ours as border, okay?
Yeah, the one coming back was a pain in the ass too, but well, I wouldn't say a pain in the ass. He just started. I'll explain. But we pull.
He was probably wondering why you didn't have a passport too.
So we pull up. I got everybody's passport cards, and I pull up, and I'm just like happy go lucky, like, how's it going? And he like looks pissed off immediately, and I'm like, all right, maybe I should just like chill. I hand him everybody's cards, and I was like, I'm not gonna lie, like I don't have my passport, but I heard that you can get in with just a license and a birth certificate, and I have my birth certificate as well, so I handed him that. He asked what we were doing. I told him we were playing a fest up there in Ontario. We'd be back that night, blah, blah, blah. The guy looks my name up, I guess, and asked if there were any firearms in the vehicle. I said no. And then he asked how many people were in the vehicle. I said 4. They didn't even come around, look in the van to see if I was like telling the truth. He just handed me everything back and said, all right, have a good day, and just sent us through. Right? It was, and I was like shaking.
What?
Like the one thing that I noticed is when we got in, my signal was gone. Like it was gone. So I couldn't like call anyone to tell them until we got to the venue. And then driving back through, Skylar was driving, and he like wakes me up. I'm on the bench behind him, and he's like, hey, like we're pulling back up, and we pull up, and he's like, I hear the guy like, where are you coming from? This guy's like, Ontario. He's a mega stoner. Like him and Cam and Ty smoke so much weed, it's crazy. And then he's like, he said before, and I was like, why did he say And then he's like, where are you guys from? And he said Oklahoma. And I was like, I was like,
where you come from, is it?
Dude, yeah.
Not knowing specifically where you were in a different country for less than 24 hours, I can understand the a little bit more there, but where you come from?
Yeah. And so I like noticed that, and I'm like this behind him, bro. Like my hands are on my head, and I was like, oh fuck, like we're gonna get searched here for sure. And so I don't know what it was, but like my gut was just like, talk to this guy. And I lean over, and I'm like, hey, what's up, man? We're a band called Cell from Oklahoma City. We just played in Ontario. We're going to Indiana to play a fest tomorrow. We got to be there early for load in. And he was like, how much money did you make? And I think I told him like, we just like donated it to charity or some shit. Yeah. And he just handed it back and sent us through. So it was like, we almost got fucked. And then luckily I like said, I don't know what it was, because I'm like the only one who's like blasted in the band and shit. Like
and honestly, even just having someone like kind of creep up like that in the van could have been enough for them to be like, yo, like stay in your fucking seat, like what the fuck are you doing type thing.
Yeah. And like luckily that didn't happen, because like it was pretty late too. Like it was probably like 2 or 3 a.m. So yeah, I mean, we got lucky. I love Canada, dude.
Come to think of it, I think at night I've never had any issues both ways, regardless of the scenario, band or personal.
Yeah.
Like at that time, they're just kind of like, there's like one dude working, and he's probably like, I don't want to do this whole thing.
Yeah, dude.
Come on, come on in, boys.
With that.
Welcome home, brother.
Yeah, all of my friends who have gone up there, and like, they always tell me that they get sent to secondary, and it's not like they get searched like thoroughly all the time. They'll just peek in and look at you and then make sure it's like everything that you're telling the driver is telling them is true. But like, it was a blessing, and now I have a passport on the way, so it's like,
there we go.
Yeah, so we'll probably be back up there, I'm gonna assume, next year for sure.